Shout out to everybody at the Court Plantation. Doing what you gotta do to survive. My brothers, Dave for No Compromise. James Youngblood, Shawnee, Erica. Florida, Philly, Georgia, Texas, Vegas, North Carolina, Arizona. These are people that I know in these states. Shout out to everybody out there if I'm blanking your name, man. I'm trying to make them quick and concise. Man. My brother, Jonathan Majors, he did his interview. But we gonna check it out today. We gonna do a little bit of talking and checking it out and see what the fuck is going on, what he's saying. A lot of people are not happy with him comparing Megan Good to Coretta Scott King. So let's see what the niggas got to say. We're just gonna break down a couple of snippets of it. You know what I mean? And get it ready. Let's turn this down and let's get it. Here, we're gonna pause it because I think we got it. We're gonna jump right into it today. We just jumping right into it. We're not playing no games because I think people are not happy with what he said in his interview.
A year ago, the name Jonathan Majors was followed by talk of critical and box office success, skyrocketing fame, even Oscar buzz.
I'm coming for everything.
But this morning, a different conversation surrounds that marquee name.
Something about sitting here right now and looking at you and understanding the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, no, we're going to find something else because I don't like the way that sounded here. Let's see if this one's any better. Because you know them sounds be janky. You know, they always do that. When I man, they always do that shit. So here, let's get a better sound. Cause I'm like,
this has been very, very, very.
See, they still doing that shit. Here, hold on. Let's see if we can get another one. YouTube always doing that shit.
Hollywood stars with acclaim for his dramatic performances and a promising future as a Marvel villain. But now actor Jonathan Majors is facing the possibility of up to a year in jail.
And let me tell you something. The people this is ABC who's interviewing him. That's still Disney. So Disney, let me break this down for y'all before we get into it. Disney is interviewing him because Disney knows that black folk are going to see how anti-black racist they are. So that's why they're interviewing him. But they still let him go for Marvel, which is owned by Disney. So let's get it.
Conviction on misdemeanor reckless assault and harassment in connection with an altercation involving his then-girlfriend. He sat down exclusively with me for his first interview since his arrest, discussing the relationship at the center of the trial, the role that he says race played, and why he didn't take the stand. Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened in my personal life, in my career, in the culture, and conversely, the impact of this. It's about responsibility.
And his team probably told him to do this. Disney and them probably already set this shit up because Disney wants to make it. I think Disney's just trying to clean this shit up and let it go away. Then they'll probably bring him back. That's what they doing. Because why would they interview him and then fire him from Disney? Trust me, I know what they're doing.
And coming forward and being brave and giving my part of the story.
In an ABC News exclusive, actor Jonathan Majors sat down with me in his first interview since a jury handed down a guilty verdict for reckless harassment, a misdemeanor, and a violation of harassment in the second degree.
You know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time, you know, and a lot of it has to do with this situation. It all has to do with this situation, and she needs to see this, and the hard things need to be done. But it's been hard, you know. Everything's kind of gone away.
The 34-year-old actor was a rising star.
This is our family story.
Known for his roles in HBO's Lovecraft Country, Creed 3,
I'm coming for everything.
and Marvel productions like last year's Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Which was
Quantumania.
trash.
You're an interesting man. Scott Lang.
And it was on that movie set back in 2021
See?
where he met 30-year-old British dancer Grace.
Another plant, another setup. You met her on the set. You don't even know this lady. You didn't even vet her out because White is right. Man, come on, my brother. You gotta vet these people out. When you dating outside your race, you got money. I would have done a background check on her. I would have had a private investigator go and look into her background, make sure she ain't got no type of domestics, none of that stuff. Come on, Jonathan.
Jabari. The pair dated until March of 2023 when Majors called 911 the day after a fight that was caught on surveillance video.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious. She's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back.
And see, here's the thing. He became emotionally enmeshed with this white woman, the dominant society, thinking like, oh, this will look good for my brand. No, sir. You better check the pedigree. Whoever you dating. Now, if you dating a foundational Black American sister, I don't think you need to go as far. But when you dating outside your race, any of these other racial groups, that could have been an industry plant to set you up and destroy you. You don't know that.
Yeah, she sent me text messages insinuating as much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning.
Police found Jabari on the closet floor of their apartment. Majors was arrested by New York City police, accused by Jabari of assault, strangulation, and harassment, convicted last month, but acquitted of 1 count of assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment, meaning the jury didn't believe he assaulted her intentionally. Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked.
I wasn't shocked. I don't care if that white woman was tracing. Look, let me tell you something. His best bet would have been, first of all, you need to have security around you at all times and to have her removed by security. And you have her around, NDA, right then and there. You need to sign an NDA, you need to sign a waiver, and you need to have security at all times. You're Jonathan Majors. You're in major Marvel films. I would have been like, nope, I'm protecting my interests. And then I'm having my security wand her down, jamming her signal so you can't be recording me secretly and doing all this sucker shit. Wand her down. Take all her jewelry off, wand her down, then we can talk. And we doing this every day. And you sign an NDA. Because let me tell you something, that could have been a setup. It is a setup. If she was chasing you, that was a setup. She wanted to fight and argue with you. That was a setup.
And afraid. I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution.
The evidence is you are a foundational Black American, and that's the dominant society, and they set you up. I'm not saying that other racial groups won't do the same thing, but what I can say particularly about foundational Black Americans, I don't think it would have been this bad. This is just my perspective. Maybe it would have, but I just don't think it would have been. Had he had been dating Megan Good before all this, I don't think that would have happened, because I don't think Megan Good is that type of a sister that is going to do that, because she don't want that public humiliation either. So I don't think that would have happened. I just think you're on a set ran by the dominant society. They send one of their plants in to set you up and build you up to tear you down. And you don't know what took place. Because let me tell you something, that football player that was beating the shit out of that sister, he tried to go in there and claim like he was mentally disturbed or some shit like that. So we need to look at these type of things. And Jonathan Majors is a smart guy. It's just the people around him probably didn't say, You need to have security at all times and video record everything. And don't let security not be around. I don't care what's going on. Have them in the next room. As soon as she get to acting a fool, security. Out of here. And remove her. And that's how you're supposed to do. You literally supposed to treat, you don't know this woman. You don't know these people. You got to check the pedigree.
Evidence, let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
After the verdict, in a statement, Jabari's attorney wrote in part, justice was finally served today, proving that the truth can prevail.
See, justice was finally served today, proving that the truth can prevail even in the face of power. She did exactly what I thought. She set him up.
Even in the face of power. Grace did not choose to be in this situation. Grace has been publicly attacked as a result of her courage to testify to the truth, but her unwavering resolve to see this case through to the end was born out of her desire to give other survivors similar courage when justice requires.
See? Now, David, James Youngblood, everybody out there that's listening, this is what I'm talking about this women's liberation bullshit. See, the dominant society and other racial groups get together with black women on some women's rights and we need to make more and all this other shit, but they will use that shit as a tool to destroy a foundational black American man.
The prosecution has described your relationship with Grace Jabari as tumultuous and abusive. How would you describe that 2-year relationship?
And let me break this down real quick. I'm sorry I got to stop it, but let me break this down. Look, when you in a relationship and it's like that all the time, and you're constantly having to like tell a woman what to do and all this other shit, you got to be arguing with a bitch all the time, you got to get away, man. It's too much at stake for foundational black Americans. You got to get away from that shit because a lot of these, they'll destroy you. People in general will destroy you. Nobody even knew who this lady was. And you done given her light. And now she probably gonna write a book, a tell-all, and do her own interview and get to crying sad. It's like, come on, Jonathan, man. Sometimes you have to understand, man, vet the people around you. Vet them out. Have your security, have your team do a thorough investigation. Have a PI follow the bitch everywhere she fucking go. Have them dig so far into her background, like, yep, she had a domestic right here. Yep, she was arguing with this man right here. Yep, such and such. Nope, you don't need to be bothered with her. And say, I'll get back to you in a minute. And then when your team comes back and say, look, this is the bullshit we got on this bitch right here. You be like, nah, I can't be with you.
I loved Grace. Our relationship was, it was not healthy, you know, and that began
We know that, Jonathan. We know that.
to reveal itself over time, but there was no abuse.
In court, Jabari claims she sustained head injuries, but never said how she received them. Entered into evidence these partially redacted text messages from September of 2022. Majors writes, "It's just fake, and I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." Jabari responds in part, "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you?"
Oh, man. That girl could have been bumping her head against the wall. There's this show with what's his name that was, oh, God, he's with Lupita now, that white boy. And it's like, oh, God, I forgot what it's called. It's on Showtime. And that girl was literally doing some beating up herself because she wanted to be with this man so bad. So she would do everything in his power to be with him. And I don't think, and see, a lot of times, brothers, man, you know, it's like we attracted to the drama in the theater, like David says, and we need that. We need those, and we need those type of trial and error attractions because that gets us going. It gets us on a dopamine high. But you have to understand, man, you gotta transition your energy into something else, man, because that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. And now you done ruined your whole career going back and forth with a person that had nothing to lose.
This is literally a nightmare. I don't know what happened. I don't know what injuries you're talking about.
The July incident, 2022, where she says you started throwing things, including a candle. Tell us what happened there.
You know, we were in an argument. I was on the other side of the room, away from her, as I think she testified. And by my bedside table, I did a sweep, and I knocked over my candles. I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. What she also said is that afterwards I wept and cried in the corner and said I was sorry and this. And I was, and I am.
The prosecution said you allegedly wrote, "I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I'm killing myself soon. I've already put things in motion."
This man done been around too many dominant society people. First of all, You don't be writing no text and talking on no phone with a bitch you don't know like that. You need to have 2 phones. You Jonathan Majors. I'd have a burner phone and a regular phone. The burner phone's the flip phone, and that's all we gonna communicate with. And you gonna communicate on this burner phone. Because they can pull any text message back, anything you say. They can fabricate text messages. They can do anything. We don't know what he said. We don't know what's going on. This is the dominant society's game. Know the rules.
Were you suicidal?
I've been diagnosed with severe depression, you know, and I'm taking the steps needed to alleviate, you know, some of those symptoms, ideations of removing myself from situations permanently is a thought that I've had, since I was a kid.
It all came to a head in March of last year when Jabari and Majors got into a fight, much of it captured on surveillance video and used as evidence in the trial. Jabari testified that it all began when Majors received a text from another woman.
Hey, that's all what happened. He probably wanted to be with a person like Megan Good. And they was look, let me break this down. He probably wanted to be with a person like Megan Good. He didn't want to be bothered with her. She wasn't nothing but drama. I'm pretty sure it was somebody in his ear that was like, you need to leave this bitch alone. She ain't nothing but drama. I'm pretty sure he didn't reach out to other people that he know, his peers. And then what ended up happening was, after that, he probably was like getting messages from a bride, a bitch he really want to fuck with, and that bitch got the phone, and she knew right then and there, all right, well, I'm going to destroy him. Because if I can't be with him, nobody can.
He says it read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you."
So let's go back to March 25th for a moment. You and then girlfriend Grace Jabari are in the backseat of a chauffeured car. She sees a text from another woman. Things seem to spiral from there.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Yeah, the text from another woman. Again, I said at the beginning, you know, I did that. I did that. I cop to it. I show her, right? It's in my hand. She grabs it. We scuffle for the phone. I pull the phone back. I receive my injuries. I open the door. I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up. I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her.
No, you don't do that. That's why, what did I just tell y'all? That's why you have security at all times. Because you don't do that. You don't do that.
As the video shows, you know, everything calms. We get out, we walk across the street. I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street, she grabs me, she goes for the phone. I release, I get free of her and I run.
For blocks?
Yeah, for blocks.
Surveillance video also shows Jabari talking to 3 strangers. She testified they offered to get her home. One of the bystanders can be seen speaking to Majors, who gestures for Jabari to get back into the car. He eventually leaves without her and goes to a hotel for the night. Jabari leaves with the bystanders.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face,
Yeah.
twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
What happened?
She went to grab the phone, I held the phone. I pulled the phone back. She came on top of me, squeezed my face, slapped me. That's all I remember.
So she ends up
Yeah.
with a 1-inch cut behind her ear.
Laceration, yes ma'am.
And fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew.
And that's all we're going to, and let me cut the music on. Let me tell y'all something. Man. Didn't we already see this with Chris Brown? First of all, a real woman ain't finna be snatching no phone out your hand and checking to see if another bitch is doing all that. Because a real woman ain't worried about that. That ain't no real woman. Because a real woman know her place, and a real woman is secure in who she is. And I believe Megan Good wouldn't have done that. I believe Megan Good is classy enough to be like, if you fuck with somebody, I just walk away. But let me tell you something. That lady didn't have shit to lose. That was a bum ass bitch that didn't have shit to lose, and that's why she did what she did. And nobody in Jonathan Majors' team told him, man, you better leave that bitch alone. That bitch ain't got shit. That bitch is not in Hollywood like you are, homie. You Kang the Conqueror. That bitch ain't shit. And she's gonna use her whiteness to get you the fuck up out of here. Somebody should have told him that. And then for the next time, you need to thoroughly vet out whoever the fuck you have around you. I know how that bitch got that. That bitch was arguing, fighting, and hitting him upside the fucking head and trying to snatch his phone and do all kinds of sucker shit and doing crazy shit. Man, that was an uncontrollable bitch. See? We have to understand, man, when we are in these type of positions where we could change the dynamic of our lives and others around us and our families, don't let nobody put you in jeopardy or put you behind the wall and put you up against the wall, correction. No, we have to think smart. Let me tell you something. We gonna have to understand that what happened to Chris Brown. Chris Brown, they still fucking with Chris Brown about that shit with Rihanna. She went on to be a billionaire, and Chris Brown getting ridiculed to this day. So that should tell you how the fuck they feel about foundational black Americans. And they're gonna try to bury him. And the only reason why Disney let him do that interview is because Disney don't want to get the pushback from being anti-black racist. And portraying the anti-black racism of just letting them go, oh, well, let's interview him. Well, let me tell you something, double-edged sword. All Disney gonna say is, well, we interviewed him, so, we're not racist. Why would we interview him? And then when it clears over, they'll probably try to bring him back, but Kang to Conquer, that whole fucking shit was a bunch of bullshit anyway. A bunch of bullshit. Y'all know it, I know it. Thank God that he found somebody like Megan Good, and I think he really likes Megan Good, and I think that's good for him. And he need to be with somebody that ain't got no fucking drama. That bitch ain't nothing but drama. And let me tell you something, she gonna do it with the next motherfucker. She been doing that. She got a kick out of fucking doing that. That's why she released that statement, oh, I'm glad justice was served. Man, fuck that bitch. Bitch was chasing him down the goddamn street, and she found not guilty, he found guilty. That should tell you how the system fucking works. You have no friends, you have no alibis, you have nobody in this system. And whoever you date, I don't care, whoever you have in your circle, vet them out. And if they are not on the same vibrating frequency as you, get the fuck away from them. Because let me tell you something. Jonathan Majors know that bitch ain't shit. And that's why it's probably taking him so much to keep calm, because that bitch is fighting, slapping him upside the head, snatching his phone. Like I said, any woman that snatched the phone, that ain't no woman. That's a bitch. That's an insecure bitch that don't give a fuck about nobody but what the fuck she want. And you can't tell her bitch shit, and she gonna keep doing that shit. But this is what I want to know. I would like to see her do it to a dominant society man. Because if you watch Investigation Discovery, them white men will kill a bitch in a minute. You fucking with they shit. But anyway, man, go check out this interview for yourself. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I'm going to tell you right now, Jonathan Majors was set up for the okie doke. They will fatten you up like a pig to gut you like a goddamn fish. They'll build you up to destroy you. Remember that. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.